Honeybees are, as I had mentioned, are wonderful, wonderful pollinators. And the other thing unique about a honeybee, many bees, there are a lot of bees that are good pollinators. For example, bumblebees, which are indigenous to the United States, are wonderful pollinators. The problem is a bumblebee hive, a large hive, will be a few hundred bees. Honeybees, a large hive is 80,000 bees. So just by simple numbers, if honeybees are wonderful, wonderful pollinators. So what that means is for the average farmer, if I'm growing, let's say, apples, and apples are not solely pollinated by insects, but primarily pollinated by insects. So if I have apple trees and I don't have those honeybees, I'm not going to have the insects visiting flower to flower, from flower to flower, and thereby pollinating all the flowers. So my only choice, if I really have a shortage of bees, is one, ship in bees from other places, which is what California does for their almond crops. And their almond crops have become totally dependent on bringing in, they ship in thousands upon thousands of hives on a yearly basis. But that, or the other option, which China has done in some cases, is they actually get human beings to go in and actually take the places, work with little paintbrushes, climb up on the trees. And the reason why they do that is the bees can't survive. It's become a toxic environment for the bees. And that's an indication they're more sensitive than we are. But if there are toxins that are killing our bees, they will eventually and ultimately kill us. I think to begin with, one of the most important things that people should realize is not everything that buzzes is a bee. Our honeybees and many of our bees have gotten a bad rap from wasps and hornets and other stinging insects. Honeybees, and this is very, very important for people to understand, honeybees are really not a nuisance. Unless you approach the hive, they generally will leave you alone. If you're working in your flower bed and there are honeybees there, they're going to move out of your way. So the one very important thing for people to understand, whether you live in a farm area or you live in a big city, if there are honeybees around, they're only there for our benefit and in no way will negatively impact your life. The easiest way to tell the difference between a honeybee and a wasp or hornets is wasps and hornets are smooth. Their exterior is smooth. Honeybees actually have a hairy exterior, which looks almost like fur. That's actually to store the pollen, to collect the pollen, which they then store on their hind legs. But just as a quick glance, a wasp or hornet is shiny and bright in color. A honeybee is a more dull in appearance. Often I am called, and we certainly don't mind this, beekeepers are called on either on the telephone. Today they can send us pictures and videos where they'll say, I've got a hive, it's in the tree near my house, it's on my siding. Is this honeybees? Is it not honeybees? And we often and very easily can distinguish and determine whether it's honeybees that they have or another type of pest that could be negatively affecting them.